let's do something for back to school. I know a lot of kids went back to school this week, so we're going to do a basket of apples. But first we have to have a rustic background. I'm going to take some white, some gray, and some tan and kind of alternate, blending, but not blending so much that you lose all those different tones, doing up and down strokes all the way across. I don't know, do kids still give apples to their teachers on the first day? I don't know if they still do, but that's what the theme is. So we're going to do a basket for our apples, and we're going to take a smaller round brush and make a letter U. Look familiar? Very similar how we did the vase in the vase of flowers painting. But make that letter U as your shape, and then we're going to fill it in very similar, just doing up and down strokes. But take white, dark brown, and light brown, and tan, and kind of go up and down, kind of alternating. Give it that wood grain. You don't want to blend so much that it goes all into one color, but make sure it's filled in. And don't worry how pretty the top is, because we're going to take some white paint on our brush then and do a smiley face. And then make it wide enough to have the rim. And don't forget the bottom either. Do kind of a small smiley face down there. And that kind of makes it look like it's put together, but just to make sure, we're going to add some nails, some little brown dots using our detail brush, using dark brown. Tap, tap, very lightly all the way across, spaced out. And we want to make sure the bottom's held together too, so we're going to do the same thing all the way across the bottom. And then we're going to use our spouncer, or our pouncer it's called, using dark and light red. It's good for more than just suns. We're going to make apples. Make sure the bright red is at the top. Just a little bit of press down and twist like a stamp, and that makes it look like an apple. See how the dark and the light red work together to make it look round? It looks like you have highlighting and shading all in one. And now a bushel is like 125 medium apples, I think. So we're not going to do quite that many, but we are going to have some that fell out of the basket. And then I'm going to use a hair dryer to dry it for this next step, because we're going to add some details. Let me show you how to use a fan brush to make leaves. Now see the shape of that fan? Using dark and light green, we're just going to use it like a stamp. Press down all the way and pull up, and there you go. There is a simple leaf shape. So we're going to repeat that on each apple, making sure that the tip is connected to the round circle. Just press down like a stamp on each one. You don't have to load up the brush every single time, but every couple. Just make sure it's connected to the apple. Some may be going over across other apples. You can always go over it again if it doesn't fully cover. Maybe some are backwards. That one in the middle is not going to have a leaf, but don't forget the ones outside the basket that fell. Don't want to forget them. And you can take a toothpick through the center of each leaf before it dries and add a vein. That just makes them a little bit more realistic. Using the same fan brush while I have the dark and light green, I'm just going to do some very light upward strokes, both the wide way, and if you turn it sideways, you can get some thinner grass strokes. Just make sure the basket is sitting in something, and those apples. Just like that. Now using a detail brush, we're going to use some dark brown. Make sure you add some stems. I'm just going to do some little lines coming out from where the leaf is. And then as a final touch, don't forget a detail brush with some white. We're going to make these apples look like the light is shining on them. Do little smiley faces or little half circles or C's in each one somewhere in the red. That just makes them pop. It makes them look more round. Just like that. And there you go. Happy back to school. Have fun.